Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin from Florals.com, and today we will be doing something different sort of for preparing for my March page kit, or how to kill a kit with style kit. So I'm going to kind of show you guys the process of what I'm doing this month. I'm going to end up doing page kits for my Disney album. Now my Disney album has a lot of work to do in it. Let's hope we don't knock anything over with this giant album on my desk. But you guys have seen these process videos, and I have a playlist of all of my Disney process videos over on my YouTube channel, which you guys can check out. But as you can see, I already have the photos in place for some of these pages. So this one has a photo, this one has a photo note, so I can add one in. Let me move this over somewhere. This one has a note for adding a photo in as well, so I have to find where that one is. This one's pocket page, but it has all of those pieces in it. And what we're going to do is sort of make page kits for these. I already have them planned out sort of, so I'm thinking, so this one says it's supposed to be an 8.5 by 11 layout, but I didn't have 8.5 by 11 page protectors at the time, so we ended up getting just 12 by 12 for now. But we're going to end up pulling some different stuff for these, and as you guys know, I already sort of have a Disney kit made, so we're just going to be going through that today and sort of picking and choosing what we want to go with which items. So to get started, I have my 12 by 12 stack here. This is new paper I recently added to my Disney kit, and this is from a Fancy Pants box that I had purchased. It's sort of like a grab bag box, and you can see all sorts of fun nautical things from Making Waves and Summer Sun collections, but really excited to be using some of those. And again, I apologize for the glare. It's really hard to not get glare with a lot of pocket pages. So we're going to go through these one at a time and see what we can pull out, if it's just embellishments or what. And I'll be working on this for this month. So I also have an embellishment kit here, my 12 by 12s here, and then below me I have another set of embellishments and goodies. Lots of goodies in this. This is chock full of stuff. So we're just going to go through. As you can tell, this is sort of more of a formal layout. So I have some very Disney stuff, and I have some stamps. What immediately draws my eye is this little camera piece that's here. I'll grab that out. Really like that for this page, and this is from the Say Cheese collection by Simple Stories. Say Cheese 3 to be specific. We have chipboard, we have some Hogwarts stuff because we also went to Universal this trip. And you can see the the photos are in the pockets already, but what I think I'm going to do is, like, I think I want to trim this one down to more of a 3x4, and that way you can have, so the title would most likely go up here. This would have a nice, like, embellishment cluster, and then this one will also have an embellishment cluster. At least that's what I think will happen. We will see if that does happen. I also like these, but there aren't any princesses involved. So I'm sort of walking through the process of how I work with my pre-made sort of kits. I don't really like that. Just kind of going through. I do like these. I like those little silver pieces. Those are little Mickeys from Eyelet Outlet, which I saw at a recent, I wouldn't say recent anymore, but was recent when I went. Recent, what are they called? It's not a convention, it's like a scrap. Maybe it's a convention. I also like this. So for things like tools, I'll just use a post-it note to mention what I want to use on that. And actually, I'll probably just pull this one out so I can write on it, so I don't have to waste another post-it note. So I'm going to grab that. Ideally, pretty easily, but looks like it won't be. We'll have to slide that back in after. But I'll write on this post-it that we want some more stuff. Just going to grab a nice pen that will not smear. We'll actually go with pencil again. So all dolled up is going to be the title that I came up with when I first made this page layout. And then I'm going to say I want to use the Maggie Holmes roller. Just so I know to pull that out when I'm working on this. And then these other little elements, so like these could be tucked in up here so they stay with everything. Or I could just cut a strip off if you're going to do lots of page kits. But that's what I'm going to do for this whole album. So I'll walk you through a couple of them, and we'll see where we go from there. Like I said, I have a lot of different types of embellishments that I could use. Some of these are cute. Since I'm bringing in the black here, I'm wondering if I should bring in some more. Like these ones say, Dream Come True, Mirror Mirror. Once Upon a Dream. Like, I like these a lot, especially if I do some stickers on top of the photos, which I might. I do not know. I don't know if I have any 6x6 papers in here. Let's see. Here's one. This doesn't really go with the theme very well. So we have a really gold theme going on in here, so I don't want to use that one. Look, I have another set of those exact stickers. Who am I? Actually, are these different? No, they're the exact same. But at least I got these ones on clearance, right? And I do have several Disney albums to do. That's my justification that I have these twice. And that's all you need to know. I know the papers I used on the previous layout, so the opposite one that was on the back side of this, were from from My Mind's Eye, I believe. And those are actually already in a page kit, so I don't want to take those out just to use this one. So I'm going to keep searching. Maybe there's something we can use here. So this is the Coastal Village paper pad from Recollections. I think these could work nicely because the boys are wearing blue. So maybe I'll pull these out. So like I'd stick that in there. There's also this one, just like nice pineapple. Why not? I think this one should be a little bit more fun. But since I do have a coordinating layout next to it, we also want to make sure we pay attention to that. I'll pull that one out too. So as you can see, I was going silver. Now I'm going back to gold. So let's look over at the other side here before we get too carried away. And then all of my embellishments can go over here for now. And again, I have another embellishment container. This is a giant 12 by 12, which will have an 8 by 10 on top of it. So when I make my Disney kits, I often don't have to, I don't often make page kits for my Disney layouts. It's usually like this. I'll just pull one out and then go work on it. But this month I am doing the page kit route. So I'm going to pull something out that's both nautical but also formal, since this was the formal night. And this will coordinate with the left page, so I don't have to worry about doing a second title. I'll just make it like a double page sort of spread. Without too much effort involved. We'll try to find something here that goes. But I think none of these, I think these are a little bit too bright. Even though I pulled in the blues over here, I don't think I want to pull in blues on this side. But there are options too. They're just not the same blue. And then the papers that are within my actual kit here, we have some music notes, some stars, and then we got some Wizarding World papers. I have a blue constellation paper from Pinkfresh Studio. But I think we're going to have to go dive into our stash to get a paper that we'll want to use for the 12 by 12. So I think I'm going to do a paper pad. What I'm going to do is tuck this under here so you guys can at least see that that's like its own page. And again, this lighting, not the best, but make do with what we have. What I'm going to try to do is kind of lean this up because I think that'll help a little bit. It helped a little. I just wish it all fit in one shot, but we know how camera work can be a little daunting to figure out. So back to my paper pads. Now there's a lot of options in here, but when I think elegant, I think sort of nautical. Just looking through my different paper pads to see which one I want to pull out to look through. Things like Maggie Holmes wouldn't go well, I don't think. Well, Maggie Holmes Bloom specifically, that's the only one I have. I have this pink one that would be nice, but again, we're working with blues on the other side. And we're going to do a silver gold sort of thing. So the first one I pulled out, which is in my lap now, is called Winter Wonderland, because I know there's a lot of blues and silver foiling in it. So I'm wondering if we should do, like, this is not winter, it's just a blue stripe, which does look very similar to this blue. And I think if we use these together, it would make a better sort of combo. Are those even in focus? We'll pretend it is. But this will go well together. So we'd pull back the stack and put it over here. So let's keep looking to see what else is in here. Snowflakes, no. This one's beautiful. This reminds me of the tile work on this one, but I do like this blue better than that blue. This goes more teal direction, which the papers that I pulled out for the other side do not. Oops. But we got a lot more snowflakes, polka dots. There's this one, which again, it goes more that green route instead of the blue that we need. Maybe if I hold it this way, it'll do better. Okay, so we have two options from this paper pad, and I love using my sort of winter materials, or we could even do this one. This one's a little bit dark, I think, for the photo. Like, I think it'll drag the photo down, but you know what? I think we'll pull out two pattern papers. One will be this one, and then we'll do the striped one. So this is just a larger pattern of this, but in gray. So we're going to pull that one. Again, silver foil goes nicely. So I'll have a silver and gold sort of theme, and then I'll pull this one, which has that baby blue that we like. And again, this is just the Ice Crystals Winter Wonderland Craftsmith paper pad, which is a couple years old now. Well, at least 1 year old. I'm not good at keeping up when things come out. I usually buy them on clearance. So these will get tucked in to here, just to save me time later on. And normally I would do this in a bigger area, not just on my desk. Like I'd probably sit on the floor to do this, but I did not want to show you my floor, or I did not want to clean my floors, more like it. Okay, and then these would go over here, and then we'll tuck in these little elements. And we do have some more embellishments to go through before we get too crazy. I want to go through this big set. I wouldn't call it big, just a bigger set. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. We got some stamp sets that are a little too cheesy. Ocean themed items because we did go to the beach. These are always fun to include. I might grab one of those. Sometimes it's hard to include things like washi tape since the page protectors themselves aren't very thick, so sometimes I'll just, you know, leave it off because it's usually safer for the washi tape and the photos and stuff for them to remain separate. But really, totally up to you. So what I'm going to do is grab one of these. Maybe. We'll see. I was thinking the anchor would be cute. Again, close that up. Again, I know where everything is in these kits. It's not too hard to find something that'll work. It's just that going through it all every time just to get started is a little bit daunting. So that's why we're doing it this way. A little bit different. Okay, so we've got stickers, we got gold, we got silver. We probably want some more gold, which again will come in like the enamel dots or the sequins that I end up picking out. This isn't a full page kit. These are like sort of starting points. So I'll tuck in these. These will go into here since it's easier for a 12 by 12 to hold the stickers versus the other side. But this would be a double pager anyway, so they'll coordinate. And then we'll tuck this stuff back in. We'll put this here. So we'll need 2 6x6s over here and then a little 4x6 here, which again might change. When I look at it again, I might not want it to be that way. But if I had, say, the enamel dots I knew I wanted to use, those sequins I knew I wanted to use, I would tuck those in, or even other elements like alphabet stickers or washi tape you could even try to do. But again, I'll just tuck those in there. And I believe these will fit okay in here, so I should trim these beforehand, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put the blue on top, that way I remember that it's got a blue color scheme. And those might stick out on this side, which is fine. But this side was done very simply, sort of like how this side will be done pretty simply. But I like how this damask pattern sort of reminds me of this sort of blue tile pattern. So that's essentially what I do, and I make sure to turn the pages nicely. On the back of this photo, it actually says it's supposed to be on the other side, so I should probably get that before I forget what's supposed to be on the other side. And it's about a different photo that we had printed. And I need to get another one printed because we ended up framing that one. So next we'd move on to the next one. Since this is going to be a 6x12 open space, which I know it's a little bit off camera again. We're running out of room over here, but since it's going to be a 6x12 over here, we're going to go for something a little bit more nautical. I was thinking red, but again, the boys are wearing blue. So I think we're going to end up pulling a blue of some sort. And this is when we met Captain Mickey on the ship. And while I didn't do vlogs for this cruise, let me know if you guys would like vlogs of other things like my vacations, so you guys can see sort of how the layouts turn out from the vacation and what I caught on video versus what I caught otherwise. I thought about that blue, but I don't really love it. This one's really, really fun. Again, I don't know what this side's going to be. It's going to be this, essentially this photo, but the professional version we got. And that'll go over here. So again, double page spread, thinking about it. Maybe the dark blue over here and then a lighter blue on that side. And then again, we'll bring in more of the anchor motif to this side and like phrase stickers and those sort of things. So when I work on these, it can't be too many page kits at once because a lot of like the whole sticker set will go into one. Only because if I do the like wax paper method, which I can do, I just don't opt to do it. I think it gets a little overwhelming. So I really like the polka dot because these are more playful photos, like while we were getting the autographs, while we were just posing with just the family members. This is while we were actually waiting for Mickey. But I really like this one. So maybe that light polka dot And make sure you don't love the back side, because sometimes you want to, yeah, no, it's just a red stripe. So I think I'm going to pull this for that one. And now just thinking about alphabets, I think I want to start looking through those to see what we have in store, because I feel like the title could go over here or over here. So I have black alphabets. Let's see how our blue section is looking. And these are mainly thickers that I'm looking at and that you're hearing me turn. So I'm just looking to see what I've got over here. I'm trying to think if I'm going to want like some like whimsical stuff or some more just formal stuff. So off first base, I saw this. This is said this is my fave. And I think that would look so cute with us next to Mickey. So I'm going to pull that out. And I'll probably just get a little piece of wax paper. And I also like this one that says think happy thoughts. So that's a sort of Disney phrase. And it's starting to get a little bit discolored. So I definitely want to pull that out. I am going to try to rub off a lot of the sticky though. Because I'm just set them on my desk for now. And these are from Dear Lizzie, in case you didn't know. Okay, so I like those. So 2 chipboard again. Don't know which page they might go on. But I enjoy both of them very much. I don't want to bring in the pinks. There are some blues in here I could use, but Eat Dessert First doesn't really apply to the mood and feel of this layout. Next, we're moving on. Let's see what else we've got in here. Maybe an actual alphabet, perhaps. I don't have many blues in the larger sets of alphabets that I have, but maybe, since I don't know what my title's going to be, sometimes I won't pull out the alphabet that I might want. It really just depends what I'm sort of looking for. So I also have all my other stickers that I could pull through them, but obviously I have my kit. So like these are new to my stash. I thought about maybe pulling out like this one or something, but again, not really the cup of tea I'm looking for here. So I'm just going to stick with those 2 chipboards and then go back to my base camp here, which is my main kit, some items I specifically bought for the album. First thing that rings a bell is this washi tape. I think bringing this over to this side would be perfect. So I'll end up putting just a strip of that on the wax paper to remind me to use it. And again, I said I was going to bring these back because I don't want to forget them. Let's see what else we've got. We got some wood veneers. I don't think I want to bring wood veneers over. Let's see. Stamps, buttons, 3D stickers. There's a little flare here that says Seize the Day. I think that's kind of fun. Let me try to open this. This was a gift to me in a rack, so I'm not 100% sure what's in here every time. I always have to open it to check. We've got some starfish. And based on this point in my album, if you're not caught up on all of the series, because I've done some of these off camera, we're still on the ship. The way this worked is we did the cruise first and then we go to Disney afterwards. So I do have more Disney stuff to do, and this is like mid-cruise, so we still have other things to explore. So I'm going to cut this one. Seize the Day is really cute. I'm going to put that in my pile. Luckily, they're already on backer. We have pictures of lighthouses, so I don't want to use that. Drop Your Anchor again. Probably used for more of the beach stuff. Seize the Day. I already have that phrase. We're not bringing in red yet, as far as I know. You never know. And then we have some 3x4 cards. Make a Wish on a Starfish. Cute, but again, not super sea. Let the sea set you free. Cute, but not what we need, as the usual will go. But that way, when you sit down and you want to do a Disney page, it's not as demanding as if you had sat down and not had anything started, if you know what I mean. This is just the way I wanted to do it, and that's how it's going to go for now. We'll see how it ends up. We'll see how March goes. And then I wanted to look at some of these darker ones. So this is an embossed paper pad. And I was interested in seeing this blue against this sort of blue. So I think I'm going to pull out this one. Again, not a perfect match, but I like that I'll have something pulled out already. So if I have a sketch already in mind or something, I can just start right away. And again, don't know what other colors I might want to bring in. So I might just leave it at that for now. But again, these will expand as I'm working on them. This is just a sort of starting point for me. I'm also thinking about using some cork on this one. I think that would be really, really fun for some nice, you know, texture and just a little bit of dimension. I think that would be nice. And then I'm sort of saving my Simple Stories die cuts because these are very park themed or travel themed, so like airplane. But like the castle I don't need to use because we're on the boat. A bunch of characters could work because we did meet a bunch of characters on the boat. But again, don't worry that I'm not using this stuff. I do have plenty more of Disney trips that I can scrapbook, as well as other Disney pages within this. These are a little bit too cutesy for what I'm working with this time, in this page specifically. I don't want to use my princess stickers because this is not a princess page, but I think we're going to stop here. I'm going to grab these couple pieces and I'm going to grab some wax paper. But I'm going to grab a couple of these. Again, I think I'm going to go with the white because it just seems like it'll work better since the blues aren't like a perfect match. So I'm just going to grab 2 of those. Again, those will probably go on the right hand page versus the left, but all of this stuff will be stored on this side. And luckily I could always watch back this video so I can see what the heck I was thinking when I started making this kit. Okay, so we need some wax paper for those 2 items. So let me grab that. I'll simply put these on here so we know where they are. And then I'm going to grab a piece of this washi so I remember to use it. Just a great little reminder for you so you don't have to store it all together. And then this will get tucked into here. And again, I know what this 8x10 photo looks like that I'm mentioning in the sticky note, so I'm not too worried that I'll forget what I'm talking about with that one. Now that that's put away, before I forget, I wanted to mention that if you guys also work based on sketches, this is a great time to pull your sketches out to start working on those. I would just tuck it in right there with it. As you guys know, I have a sketch binder that I keep by my desk, so they're always here. But if you have like the individual paged ones, if you print it out individually or on a multi-page like I did, you can always just put them in there as well, or just create a little sketch of your own on a post-it and stick it in there. But I feel like doing this in a batch process like I'm doing today, where we just go through, you know, pair some stuff together, put it in the page protector with the photos it goes. And I've talked about this before, but I learned this from a lovely lady named Leah. She no longer makes YouTube videos, but her work is still beautiful when she does post it. But I learned this from her, that she plans out her Disney albums this way, where she puts all the photos in a page protector with what size she wants that page to be, and then she goes through it that way so she can skip around and knows that she has enough page protectors and X amount of things will be next to each other, etc. So I would recommend doing it this way if you have a bigger album you're working on. But I would not do it all at once, because then your album becomes really heavy with all that extra paper and maybe you want to change your mind. So I would just do a couple pages at a time like we're doing here today. And again, leave yourself notes. It'll help you in the long run. So this next page is called At the Show. I have a lot of blank space in one photo. So I also know that I have, if I remember if this is the correct show, I'll have to double check our itinerary, but this should be the Golden Mickey show. So I might have more photos of it. I'm not sure, but if it is, which it looks like it is based on where this photo is, then I have more photos, and I have ephemera, which is confetti. And I do have a separate video all about ephemera, and you'll see that throughout this I have ephemera already tucked into some of my pages. Like over here, I have our medals tucked in from when we went to 5K. I have the ship itinerary tucked in when we have those available. So I do have some of those put in some places. But since this is an older album, 2016, it is sort of harder to remember as things go on. So having those things already paired together. In a video, I have a video showing you guys how I use trips to pair all of my ephemera together. I think it's for my Pittsburgh album, but I'll have that link down below in case you guys are interested in learning how I use my ephemera on my pages and how I organize that. So I'll have that link down below as well. But to get started, we need to pull out a paper for over here. Now this will be an 8.5 by 11 layout, which, looking at it now, I have 2 photos in here, and this is the beginning of a new day. So this is Castaway Key, which is a big deal. It's Disney's private island, which is amazing. And since it's got some island vibes, I'm automatically feeling this beautiful paper. But maybe I want a second paper in there. I mean, island vibes, I'm feeling nautical. Let's see what else we've got. Maybe this striped paper. I know this will be hard for me to use, but I think it'd be a nice challenge to use. So I'm going to tuck that behind the wave paper. And if you look here, it also pulls in some of these colors from these little these little anchor things. Like it's got the orange from Pluto, the yellow from Donald's bill, and then a little bit of that darker, it's a lighter version of that dark teal from Goofy's there. So that would be fun. Again, I want to use this Fancy Pants Making Wave stuff that just entered my stash because I'm excited about it. But I'm going to pair that with things like my other older paper pads that I've been pulling in, like these coastal ones. It's a good way to use both. And again, maybe I would also like to use perhaps 4x6 cards on this layout. I don't know. I think what I might end up doing is these will be two totally different vibed pages. This one, again, very nautical. This one, not nautical at all. More like glitz and glam again, like we did on that previous page with the, well, I guess it wasn't blue, but the page before this would be more gold, silvers. Even with that blue accent, I think it's still more glitzy than the rest of them. So I think we're going to hold off on finding those, mainly because I have to dive into my stash for that stuff, because my Disney kit is made out of things that aren't as glitzy and gold, more so the other types of fun stuff. So I'm also thinking about throwing a stamp set in here. I haven't done that in a while, and as an 8.5 by 11 page, obviously the photos, which are 4x6, so 2 4x6, which equals 8x6, that takes up a big chunk of an 8.5 by 11 layout. So maybe some stamping on the background would add enough interest that I don't have to worry about it. But I'm also going to throw in one sheet of these stickers. Now these ones are more fun and whimsical, which I think Castaway Key sort of provides that feeling. So I'm going to grab a set of these. Luckily there's 2 in here, but maybe the palm tree. Again, this brings in the darker teal that's on Goofy's photo as well as on this map photo. So those will go great together. And not too much dimension over there as of yet, but again, wood veneer, things like that get added in pretty much later. But I could add in one of these just to have in there. I mean, why not, right? Add a little anchor in there. They're on almost all of my pages just because they're so dang cute. So that's going to be it for this page, I think. And again, I think I'm going to leave this page be. As long as I know it's going to be there, I don't necessarily have to build a kit for it right away, which is very, very nice to have it planned out like this. And my album's not fully planned out either. I'm only through a couple days worth of our trip. This was one of the longest trips we ever took, therefore it's one of the most daunting projects I've ever created with. And although it is daunting, it has been enjoyable due to this process where I don't work on it every month, but when I do, I usually have parts of it that are already planned out for me, so I don't have to stress about it. I think planning is sometimes part of the stress for me, so doing it this way might be a little bit better. And if I had a sort of letter sticker or something, again, that could go in here. And again, I apologize for all of this glare. Let's try moving this. Maybe if I prop this side up, maybe it'll be better. It needs to be like that. Maybe I can tuck something else under too. Let's try this. There we go, a little bit better, a little less annoying. But if I look through my different letter stickers, I have some ones that'd be really fun, multicolored maybe. Again, I'm not 100% sure, so I don't think I'm gonna pull any out. And again, you can hear my carousel back here, but I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much to hear it. But essentially that's what I'm going to do for these pages, is sort of pull stuff out, see how it goes. This will just be an 8.5 by 11 of this, so I don't have to add anything. I just wanted the ephemera to be able to be accessed so you guys can see, well, future people can see what I was doing on my cruise. So one problem when it comes to storing pages like this, so say I wanted to put some stuff to store in here, it's a little bit more difficult. This was when we were about to disembark from Castaway Key and we got breakfast. So maybe this one would be really cute where it says taking the scenic route. And since we can't cut it, essentially what I'll do is tuck it into this bottom pocket because it's the largest pocket we've got that can hold something like that. So that would be really cute. And then adding journaling. And then in these 3 boxes, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. Obviously, I don't know because it's just something different I'm working on. I think I'm going to bring in some greens this time. Again, there's oranges from the sunrise, and if you guys don't know about a Disney cruise, the 5K, if you do the 5K on Castaway Key, which is free, and you can walk, you get to get off the boat first. Now some people, their families go run it and the other people will go straight to the beach, which is fine. They just don't usually love that, but we got to go off the boat first, and then once we were done with the 5K, we got to go straight to the beach, so that was really fun. And then something like this, so it says take the time to slow down. I think that would be really cute. Now I think what I'm going to do is just cut it out of this paper pad because I don't want these other cut aparts, since this one says the same exact thing that I have down here, but I like this green and orange color scheme that I have going on, so I'm going to cut this out, just have it ready to go. And these scissors are a little bit sticky, so let's see if I can do a somewhat straight cut. Again, you could use your paper trimmer if you're more comfortable with that. I just prefer a quicker method, like my scissors. So tuck that in. This could actually be tucked into one of the smaller pockets, which is probably safer for it. It'll stay in a little bit better. And again, green and orange color schemes going well. Maybe we should pull out one of these embossed ones, because I think these add a lot of dimension and texture without having to do a ton of work. And luckily these coordinate very well. So I think I'm going to bring the orange in again, mainly because there's orange in these photos from the little guy here to here. And I think it's refreshing to take a break from the blue, especially since Castaway Key will be a lot of water pictures. We think we might want to do that. So back to these stickers. So I think I'll end up using these stickers again, but since they're right in a page next door, and when I tend to scrap, I usually do multiple pages, I'm not going to pull these ones into here because I'll probably just end up, you know, working on all of them together. So I don't have to worry about bringing those in. But I might want to pull in some of these stickers. These are some Heidi Swap stickers that I've had. I used a bunch of these on my Pittsburgh album, if you guys remember that, when I did all those pages, which I don't know, I think I have a full flip through of it, and I'll try to link it down below if I remember. And if I ever say I'm going to link something down below and I don't, feel free to yell at me in the comments, and I will gladly get it posted for you guys. Sometimes when editing, I can only listen to my voice so many times before I go crazy, so I end up skipping over some of the talking points, and then I forget to link it. We have another cute sticker in here. Now, based on what I'm doing is just color, it is color, texture, that sort of thing, and mood and feel. This, perfect. It says off on an adventure. So I'm gonna grab that other bit of wax paper. Again, I do not need this whole piece, so I'm just gonna grab a little section of it to use. And again, I'll tuck this in. And this is just a little soft-spoken sticker, and that'll hold it in there, which is nice. This little guy fell off his... and then these postcard ones that I'm seeing here, although they say Canadian souvenir, if I tuck that properly, I could use that on the picture of the post office we took on Castaway Key. So I'm always thinking of different ideas that I could use these for. And by limiting yourself to just a couple things, it won't make you feel overwhelmed when you start the layout again. Especially if you are a person who likes to stop and start a layout like I do sometimes, you'll feel much more comfortable if your stuff's already together like this. There's a little flare in here that says sunny days, and I think that's really, really cute. I think that'd be cute up here, so I'm going to tuck that in as well. Oh, kind of fell behind the turtle, but that's okay. And these are from the Crafty Pocket. I get a lot of my flair from there. We also have some really fun puffy stickers from Paper House, but I'm going to leave these off. And if you guys notice, I don't have a lot of die cuts in my pack here, mainly because I didn't pull them out. When I made this Disney kit, it was, I want to say, quite a few years ago now. So I'm just working with what I got out now, because I know that this stuff has been sitting here and it needs to be used. So it's sort of motivation to use that sort of stuff. Travel and change of place impart new vigor to the mind. These are some really, really weird stickers that I've had, but maybe I'll use them someday. But I think that's it for this page. So we have a conglomerate of colors that can fill these boxes, some different stickers. Next up, we have our 5K. So this is getting started, the walk to the beach, the 5K starting, or the welcome sign, and then this is the 5K starting spot. And here I have a sticky note that says this is where the 5K medal will go. The problem is I have to finish the other side first because everything needs to be tucked into place. And then I think this will be the last one we do for today, since this video is already a little bit long, and then we're getting into the snorkeling adventures. So, and I do have a lot of stuff happening in March, so I'm not sure how much of this I will get to. So we want to think small, well, think big, but start small. Some good starting points there, but I'm going to set this one up. Let's see what we want to use on this one. Again, you see me using the same exact stuff over and over again, which it's not becoming repetitive yet because I'm focusing on different color schemes. So if I did one of these like if I included this multicolored paper, I could include any embellishment in the world because it includes all the colors of the rainbow. But by selecting specific papers that I want to use, like this reminds me of the My Mind's Eye on Trend paper, which is cute, but I don't think I really want to use it on these pages. Like cactuses and flamingos are nice, but they weren't on the island. I'm much more of a literal scrapbooker than some people are. I do really like this paper here, which I already have cut a piece off of. So I have this one, which has got the reds and the oranges. So this is seeing all the sights coast to coast, you and me, sand and sea, which, not really feeling that one either. Let's look at this one. The problem with picking out 12 by 12s for this, which of course I could just cut up a 12 by 12 and put it all the way across, is that storing them's a problem when it comes to pocket pages. That's why I often have a pocket page and then a 12 by 12, and it's like pocket page 12 by 12, which works out a little bit better for me typically. But I'm sort of wanting like waves, I want all sorts of stuff. So this picture that's under the sticky note is actually us finishing the race. That's where we finished, and we were finally at the beach. So that was really fun. So this paper would be really hard for me to use any other way because I hate the pre-printed things like this. Like I could cut this out, but then I would never use this as a full 12 by 12. So what I think I'm going to do is plan on using like just the top half and doing yellow polka dots because the metal itself is very orange and blue, and I think the yellow would help break that up a little bit. So I'm going to tuck this one into this side so I can use it on this side. And again, that's from the Summer Sun Fancy Pants collection because I'm trying to use those up. But I do have other papers picked out for like my park photos, but I just don't have those out since I'm focusing on some other things, obviously, with this layout. And then like things like enamel dots and stuff usually come after for me, but like if I wanted to include some, maybe I'd include these ones from Paper Studio. I like the teal that brings in the colors from the photos. I don't know what I was trying to say there. But I think this one's going to be a fairly simple starter, only because I don't want to overwhelm myself with choices, because I do have to cut things up. And as you go along, you'll notice that you'll get scraps from this, you'll get scraps from this one, you'll get scraps from that one. You'll get scraps as you go along, so you might want to end up just like using those in your 4x4 sections because they fit a little bit better than cutting into a new 12 by 12. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to leave it as just the yellows for now. I think that'll add a nice pop of color in here. So I'm going to tuck that in. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on in this in this side. It has our bibs, this Run Disney thing that I wanted to cut up so I could use a piece of it. This was a snack box they gave you after you ran the race. And then I have some printed pictures from when we ran the race in there. And I have to decide which ones I want to use or if I want to create like a pocket. Then we have the beach starting, and then we have our snorkeling with the stingrays, which is fun, including the photos from underwater. Now these will be simple pages. It'll just be like tucking in 4x6 cards because I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about stingrays, but we did take these photos on an underwater camera and they came out pretty cool. So I definitely want to use them. So you can see all of our photos here, and I have all sorts of other things, like a 6x8 page in here, just a little Mickey Mouse underneath the sea. So you can kind of see where this is going. I do have another video where I go through and lay out my photos like this, but this time I'm adding the page kit element for my March How to Kill a Kit with Style. So this was my kit share. I know it wasn't great, but I do have a video showing all of the stuff I have picked out for my Disney kit. If you're interested, I'll have that link down below. But for now, I'm kind of working with these little page kits that I've managed to create here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of live video. I'll put this in off camera. That's going to be really annoying. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live video of me building out these sort of mini page kits and doing pocket page kits, because I know not a lot of people do those either. But I highly recommend, if you're going to do this, you need to sit down and think of what you need. You'll need page protectors, sticky notes, your photos, and then a kit. I recommend, if you have a specific sort of album you're working on, say a specific vacation or a specific topic, make a kit first, then sit down with that kit and make the pages and start laying it out in your head. Grab your sketches if you prefer sketches, that sort of thing, but you'll definitely want sticky notes so you can leave yourself notes about titles. A lot of mine just say the titles and the size of the page, which is convenient for me. And then I mix in the pocket pages because I need to use up more of my pocket page protectors. I'm not a project lifer, but I do love how this takes the guesswork out of making a page. So that is it for my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit share. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out everyone else's kits. I'll have their channels linked down below in case you guys are interested. But I also have a process video for majority of these pages for my Disney album in case you're interested. And you can see that they're all very, very different. And I even have more ephemera tucked in here, a little 4x4 page in here, and this album's getting pretty thick already. So let's hope we don't have to go to a second album, but you'll never know until the end, am I right? But I hope you guys enjoyed again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.